He met with a wall of strength he never anticipated or imagined. He met the Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian ambassador to the United States is here tonight, sitting with the First Lady. Let each of us, if you're able to stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world. Throughout our history, we've learned this lesson. When dictators do not pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos. They keep moving, and the cost, the threats to America and America to the world keeps rising. That's why the NATO alliance was created, to secure peace and stability in Europe after World War II. Thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready. We are united, and that's what we did. We stayed united.
Just right off the bat, before we get too deep into this, we're already ramping up. I mean, I'm waiting for him to stand on a aircraft carrier somewhere and yell mission accomplished. Okay. When I heard the initial take where he brought the Ukrainian First Lady in and I saw them immediately pandering to Ukraine, obviously first things first, right? War sucks. We should never have war. It's 2022. There's no need for war. There's other ways of handling shit. Okay. Let's be fair. But what you've got here from Biden right up front is he's greasing the skids for jingoism, greasing the skids for nationalism, greasing the skids for our team versus your team, greasing the skids because every time you have a failing economy, every time your polls are in the toilet, just like in every fascist state, you got to have an enemy. You got to have an enemy. Because it's not good enough. You can't rally the people to peace. People don't rally to peace. I don't know why that is, but they don't. And Biden knows it, sadly. And Biden is sitting there as like the resolve, the heroic, the warrior. I mean, just waiting for like flags to come marching in and that square chin. Oh. So he's already painting this oorah for war. Now, he's talking all kinds of stuff about Putin. And as you heard earlier in our interview with Robert Hockett, this is not a one-way street here, right? There are no good guys at the table. And there's nothing to celebrate about NATO. NATO was put in place for one purpose and one purpose only. And that was to prevent Russia and Stalin, let's be fair, Stalin, from encroaching beyond what they had done after World War II. NATO was there to keep Stalin in check. Well, the Soviet Union fell, and NATO, if it ever had a good value, its value is long past. Okay? Promises were made to Russia. Okay? We did not follow through on those promises. So as you're listening to this speech, know full well that this couldn't be any more rah-rah bias with the hope and prayer that we can latch on to Ukraine's struggle and make it seem like it's America's struggle. So we forget about the fact that you didn't get $2,000 checks. So you forget about the fact that Biden could, with the stroke of his pen, eliminate student debt. So you forget all these things. And you forget the fact that in Africa and all around the world, the U.S. is doing shit. And this is not to crap on the U.S. I mean, it's just to say that this is not really genuine, right? This is really very disingenuous. And I'm afraid the fear for me anyway is that you listen to Biden, you'll understand that he's kind of grooming you. He's trying to groom you into being ready for war, trying to groom you into being ready to support him as if he's a warring president, as if he is the guy leading the troops into battle. He's trying to groom you through this speech. And so I want you to listen to it with that kind of mindset as we go forward.
We prepared extensively and carefully. We spent months building coalitions of other freedom-loving nations in Europe and the Americas, from America to the Asian and African continents, to confront Putin. And now that he's acted, the free world is holding him accountable. along with 27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and many others, even Switzerland, are inflicting pain on Russia and supporting the people of Ukraine. Putin is now isolated from the world more than he has ever been. Together, along with our allies, we are right now enforcing powerful economic sanctions. We're cutting off Russia's largest banks from the international financial system, preventing Russia's central bank from defending the Russian ruble, making Putin's $630 billion war fund worthless. We're choking Russia's access. We're choking Russia's access to technology that will sap its economic strength and weaken its military for years to come.
So let me just say this too, right? So a couple things that just happened there. Number one, as you heard, Russia has a long border, a very, very long border with China. China has interests in Russian fuel, and Russia has interest in gaining access to products, services, and other goods through China. Russia is not going to be hurt in the way that we think they're going to be hurt. They're just going to do business differently. Vladimir Putin has already sucked out the wealth of the nation. I mean, he is one of the richest, most corrupt oligarchs in the world. I mean, whether you are siding with Putin here or not, I hope you're not. I hope you're not siding with anybody. I hope you're keeping an open mind and realizing that this is all bullshit, right? I mean, it's bullshit because rich people are doing rich people games here, right? This isn't like we're doing. People are duped. A lot of duping going on, okay? But one of the most important things is Putin is not going to be held back. He's going to have India, he's going to have China, and he's going to have other groups funneling things through there. They're going to be just fine. For locking off the money, that's going to impact the regular Russian citizens. That's going to affect a whole new generation of Russian citizens that look at the U.S. and see Biden cackling about sanctions. This is, in a sense, creating a new Cold War. This is, in a sense, giving us a new opportunity to have another enemy to ramp up our spending. Because, again, we won't ramp up our spending to do the right thing without an enemy. Anyway, go ahead, Colin. Get rolling.
Tonight, I say to the Russian oligarchs and the corrupt leaders who built billions of dollars off this violent regime, no more. The United States Department of Justice is assembling a dedicated task force to go after the crimes of the Russian oligarchs. We're joining with European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets. We're coming for your ill-begotten gains. And tonight, I'm announcing that we will join our allies in closing off American airspace to all Russian flights, further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy. He has no idea what's coming.
The only person that you've got to worry about here on their economy is Vladimir Putin. He unilaterally did this. He chose, this is his choice. He is the undisputed leader. He can make things happen, period, right? So what we're doing here is we're celebrating, literally trapping Russians inside of Russia and celebrating their suffering. I don't care what you think of Iran. I don't care what you think of Afghanistan. I don't care what you think of Ireland and freaking China. And I don't care what you think of the U.S. The people, the regular people, you and I, if we were living in Russia and we had to get groceries and we had to use our ATM card and stuff like that, we're the ones that Joe Biden is celebrating are hurting. We're the ones that can't get on a plane. Not that most of us can just jump on a plane, but the point is, we're the ones that he's celebrating can't do that. I don't understand this. I mean, I do. Let me back up. I actually fucking do understand exactly why he's doing it. But it's just not something that I want for my country. It's not something I want from my president. It's not something I want for the people of Russia or Ukraine. You know what I mean? I mean, why in the world do the little people have to bear the weight of the oligarchs' misdeeds or deeds that we're painting as misdeeds or anything. Why do the regular people always have to carry the fucking freight for these fucking Game of Thrones? I don't celebrate this. It's not Vladimir Putin that's going to suffer. It's the regular Russian people that will suffer. Keep rolling, Colin.
The ruble has already lost 30% of its value. The Russian stock market has lost 40% of its value, and trading remains suspended. The Russian economy is reeling, and Putin alone is the one to blame. Together with our allies, we're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom. Military assistance, economic assistance, humanitarian assistance. We're giving more than $1 billion of direct assistance to Ukraine, and will continue to aid the Ukrainian people as they defend their country and help ease their suffering.
So the IMF has already come out and is offering to help Ukraine. Now, Biden, they may offer some stuff there too. The IMF is there to indebt Ukraine for the help they're going to get. Now, I don't know the details. I haven't seen it in writing. This is a speech, mind you, okay? So there's no bill supporting this. There's no policy necessarily in place to show what the U.S. is going to do and whether or not it's going to come directly from U.S. Monies or purchasing power, or whether it's going to come through IMF restructuring. But the IMF has come out before this even happened and said, we're here to help. I think I've covered this before, but I want you all to understand that the strings attached to IMF support or the strings attached to U.S. support are not insignificant. And I don't know how you can look at this and say this is a win for the Ukrainian people. Even if you're angry about the neo-Nazis and stuff like that, and that's your focus, that's your whole focus. Now, that is not the entire country of Ukraine. Let's be fair. And painting it that way, it's almost like, hey, I couldn't read the book, so I bought the bumper sticker kind of mentality. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Okay. Don't be that guy or gal. Please don't be that guy. I think there's other channels out there that give the hot takes like that. You go there if that's your thing. But for this, I think it's important to recognize that while he's sitting here doing this, Joe Biden is drowning in like the worst possible ratings. Got inflation that he's not dealing with correctly. The United States is not answering the questions correctly even. We're not even informing the public about the inflation and things that Biden is trying to distract from here.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.